Okay, so the Pope said the church needs saints in sneakers. Saints who use phones, saints who are on the internet, on Facebook and everything. And as usual, typical of youth, we are excited because, it's time we broke away from that boring stuff, that boring life of the saints and everything. It's time we broke away. It's time to bring some vibe into the whole sainthood thing. But for us who have had the opportunity to read the lives of the saints, their lives seemed to be boring. They seem to not care about anything that is happening in the world. They seem to be detached from the world, like away, like they don't even know what's going on. And so it got me thinking, how do we become the saints in sneakers? How do we become saints with iPhones and smartphones and still have a correlation with the saints we know who seemed to have a detached life from what was happening in the world at their time? It's all about one thing: encounter. Hello and welcome to the Second Archangel. So today, earlier in the day, I wanted to talk about this for so long a time, and my classmates and I were having a conversation and this came inside, and I felt like, you know what, I think I have a better way of phrasing this now. As part of the conversation, our thoughts were, how do we be the saints in sneakers? And we know the lives of the saints really didn't care about what was going on in the world. They cared about only one thing: their relationship with God. And so they detached themselves from the world. So how do we do that? Because the Pope said we need saints in sneakers, and the saints already know seem to not care about the world. So as I said early on, the first thing that came to mind, or that came to our minds during the conversation, was one thing: having an encounter with Jesus Christ. Just imagine you went to pray or you went for mass, and when you went for mass, during the elevation of the sacred species, you saw something. You saw Jesus. There was a bright light. There was something. You had an epiphany. Something no one around you saw. You didn't want to see it. When you come out and there are arguments, just imagine how you will feel, knowing that anytime you go for mass, you see something no one else sees. You hear something no one else hears. Imagine how you would live your life. Imagine how you're going to wear your sneakers. Imagine how you use your phone, knowing that, come on, I have seen something and there has to be something because I've seen it. You tell people what you've seen and they're like, come on, you are lying. They think you're hallucinating. They think what you're saying is a joke. They don't take you seriously. But within yourself, you know that, come on, I have seen something. I have had an encounter with God. I tell you solemnly, your life would not remain the same. In fact, you're actually going to stop caring about the world, about things that happen, because you know there is something beyond what you have seen, beyond the world, beyond what you can even imagine, but you've seen it. And that is the whole idea of encounter. Most of us, the youth, we take church stuff for granted, simply because we have not seen what it is to be seen. We've not seen what is beyond what is the physical. We just go to church, take pictures, jawuli, we are happy. But if we see what it is, if we have the privilege of God opening our eyes to see what actually happens at church, at mass, when we pray, we will then get to understand that there is a relationship between the saints we know, whose lives seem to be boring, and the saints the Pope wants us to be. Because in actual fact, when we have an encounter with God, it is up to us to help others to have that encounter. And now you cannot, in our world today, detach yourself from the world and want to lead others to have an encounter with Christ. You need to be with them. You actually need to vibe with them. So you have an encounter. Yes, you do. You don't really care about things of the world again because you've seen something greater. Yes, that is true. But this is a good news. And the news is so good, you have to share it. And since you have to share it to youth of our age, you have to put on sneakers in sharing it. You need to go to social media and share it there. Will they believe you? No, they probably won't. They will think you're a lunatic. So instead of just being there, taking things for granted, pray to have an encounter with Jesus. Pray to see what it is that really happens when you pray, when you go for mass. And when you get the opportunity of seeing that, you find a way that is good, a way that is practical, a way that is pragmatic, that you can wear your sneakers, you can use your phone, you can use social media, and still find a way of telling others your encounter, of drawing others and bringing them to have that same encounter that you've had. So, the Pope was right. We need saints in sneakers. people who do ordinary things in extraordinary ways. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Peace.